Introducing Caseta Wireless. Adjust your lights with the remote control. In this video, we'll show you how to replace existing three-way switches with Caseta Wireless in-wall light dimmers and Pico remote controls. We'll cover turning off power, replacing a three-way switch with a Pico remote control, replacing the other three-way switch with a Caseta Wireless in-wall light dimmer, pairing the dimmer and Pico remote control, changing your favorite light level setting, and finally, adjusting the dimming range for LED and CFL light bulbs. Let's get started. Replacing three-way switches with Caseta Wireless dimmers. Lights that are controlled from two or more locations, such as stair lights, which have a switch at both the top and bottom of the stairs, use three-way switches. You can replace existing three-way switches by replacing one wall switch with a Caseta Wireless in-wall dimmer, and the remaining wall switches with Pico remote controls. Lights that are controlled from only one location use single-pole switches. If your light only has one switch, please watch Setting Up the In-Wall Light Dimmer Kit. Before you start, keep in mind that you can mix and match dimmable LEDs, dimmable compact fluorescent bulbs, or CFLs, as well as halogen and incandescent light bulbs with Caseta Wireless dimmers. Replacing a three-way switch with a Pico remote control. For this installation, you'll need a Pico remote control, a Pico wallplate bracket, wire connectors and screws that came with the bracket, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, and pliers. Before you begin, make sure to turn off power to the circuits you'll be working on at the circuit breaker. Confirm that there's no power at the switch before continuing. Remove the wall plate from the switch you'll be replacing. Remove the switch mounting screws and pull the switch away from the wall. You'll see a green screw or green wire on the switch connected to a bare copper or green wire in the wall box. This bare copper or green wire is your ground wire. You'll also see three other wires from your wall box connected to the switch. Disconnect all wires from the switch by loosening the screws and unhooking the wires. Next, cap off the bare copper or green ground wire in the wall box using a wire connector that came with the wall plate bracket. Twist clockwise to tighten the connector. Connect the remaining wall box wires together using the other wire connector and tuck the wires back into the wall box. Next, remove the plastic insert from the back of the Pico remote control. Then slide the Pico remote control onto the wall plate bracket. Secure the wall plate bracket to the wall box by inserting the provided mounting screws through the holes in the bracket and into the wall box. Now you can replace the wall plate. If you're using a Claro screwless wall plate, first separate the front panel of the wall plate from its adapter. Place the Claro wall plate adapter over the Pico remote control and fasten the Claro wall plate adapter to the Pico wall plate bracket by tightening the screws included with the Claro wall plate. Then snap the front of the wall plate into place. If you install the Pico remote control next to other dimmers or switches, you'll need to install a wall plate with the correct size and number of openings to accommodate all the devices. Replacing the other three-way switch with a Caseta Wireless in-wall dimmer. For this installation, you'll need the Caseta Wireless in-wall dimmer, wire connectors and screws that came with the dimmer, a flathead screwdriver, a Phillips head screwdriver, a small piece of electrical tape, and pliers. Before you begin, make sure to turn your power off at the circuit breaker. Remove the wall plate from the switch you'll be replacing. Remove the switch mounting screws and pull the switch away from the wall. You'll see a green screw or green wire on the switch connected to a bare copper or green wire in the wall box. This bare copper or green wire is your ground wire. You'll also see three other wires from your wall box connected to the switch. One of these wires is connected to a screw of a different color, not green, or labeled common. Tag this wire with a piece of electrical tape. Then disconnect all wires from the switch by loosening the screws and unhooking the wires. Now you can install your dimmer. First, connect the green dimmer wire to the bare copper or green ground wire in the wall box using a wire connector that came with your dimmer. Twist clockwise to tighten the connector. Connect either of the remaining dimmer wires to the tagged wire using a second wire connector. Then, connect the last dimmer wire to both remaining wall box wires using a third wire connector. Tuck the wires back into the wall box. Align the Caseta Wireless dimmer with the wall box and mount it using the screws that came with the dimmer. Now you can replace the wall plate. If you're using a Claro screwless wall plate, first, separate the front panel of the wall plate from its adapter. Place the Claro wall plate adapter over the Caseta Wireless dimmer, and fasten the Claro wall plate adapter to the dimmer by tightening the screws included with the Claro wall plate. Then snap the front of the wall plate into place. If you install the dimmer next to other dimmers or switches, you'll need to install a wall plate with the correct size and number of openings to accommodate all the devices. Finally, turn the power back on at the circuit breaker. If you're going to install a Caseta Wireless dimmer next to other dimmers or switches, you will need to remove the dimmer's metal side sections. Removing side sections reduces the dimmer's maximum load rate sections that will border another dimmer or switch. Grasp each section firmly with pliers and bend back and forth. Pairing the dimmer and Pico remote control. To pair the Pico remote control, press and hold the off button on the dimmer for 6 seconds until the LEDs on the dimmer start blinking. Then, press and hold the off button on the Pico remote control for 6 seconds until the light you are controlling flashes 3 times. And that's it! Now you can adjust the light from both switch locations. And if you add another Pico remote control, you can adjust the light from anywhere in the room. Changing your favorite light level setting. You can use the round favorite button on the Pico remote control to recall a favorite light level. We've set it to 50%, but you can change it to any level you like. Here's how. Use the brighter and darker buttons on the dimmer to adjust the light to the level you want for your favorite. Then hold the favorite button on the Pico remote control until the LED on the dimmer blinks twice. Your new favorite light level is now saved. Adjusting the dimming range. If dimmable LED or CFL bulbs turn off unexpectedly while dimming or flash strobe or flicker, adjusting the dimming range can help solve the problem. To begin adjusting the dimming range, press and hold the on and darker buttons on the dimmer for 6 seconds until an LED on the dimmer starts blinking. Then release the buttons. Next, hold the darker button until the bottom LED is blinking, and then tap the brighter button until the bulb is on and doesn't flash, strobe, or flicker. To save your new settings, press and hold the off button for 6 seconds until the light turns off. Using either the dimmer or the Pico remote control, turn the lights on and adjust the level to test the dimming performance. If you're using LEDs or CFLs with the Caseta Wireless in-wall dimmer, make sure to use only bulbs marked or rated as dimmable. Many dimmable bulbs from manufacturers, such as Philips, GE, and Sylvania, have been approved for use with this product.